Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Okay, we're going to talk about passport bros. Okay, um, but before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. I thank you and I appreciate you so much. I want to thank you for your comments. Thank you for your donations. And thank you for your letters. I hope that I'm able to say something in these messages that can help someone. So let's dig into this message. Okay, passport bros. I know when I first heard the term, I didn't know what they meant by that. I mean, even when I was growing up and, at the age of dating and all that, I remember men would bring war brides back. You understand? But I didn't realize that a movement has started where men are getting their passports to go overseas to find brides. Okay? So I pulled a little excerpt on it just to bring everybody up to speed. And let's see what this passport movement, what this passport bro movement is all about. So let's take a look and then we're going to talk about it. Okay? All right, here we go.
It's no denying now that the passport bro movement has become just that, a movement and a phenomenon, and it's gone worldwide. There's many reasons for that. Many men feel like women have become completely non-traditional, that they're too masculine, that they don't want to cook, clean, take care of their man, that they are not interested in having a core family and not interested in making that a priority. So they've decided, hey, I can go and get that from more traditional women in other countries. And I can respect that. I'm not here to fight about why they do that. I think people have a right to be happy and choose their path in life. But let's really look at this for a second. I had a live and a woman told a man who makes $60,000, nice guy, not the most handsome man in the world, but by no means hideous, told this man that $60,000 was not even enough to take care of himself. When the average man in this country makes between $42,000 and $50,000 a year. He seemed very despondent by that. And that's one of the reasons, he said, why he's becoming a passport bro and why he's going overseas. He feels like overseas women are going to treat him with more respect, more honor, and build a core family with him. Now, if women are really saying that 60K is not enough, if they don't want to go 50-50, if they don't want to combine their money in a household, I think, and this is my opinion, that if you're a man with a mobile job, an online business, or you can work from home and you're making between $42,000 and $60,000 a year, I think you should become a passport bro. You can get all the things that you want from overseas. I've traveled the entire world. I've been to all of the places the passport bros are going. And yes, the women are raised in core families. Family is critical to them. They cook, they clean, they're respectful, they like to have fun, they smile a lot. Their man is their whole world as well as their family. They're going to be kind and gentle and respectful. I think you should go. That's just my assessment as a man who's traveled the world. I'm not a passport bro, but I think you should go. I don't think necessarily bringing a woman to this country makes sense because they might take on some of the ways of the women that you guys say you're trying to leave and get away from. So if you can travel, if you can move, do your research first, go and check out some of the places and then make a decision. I think it's really that simple. Passport bros seem to be winning right now.
Okay. What it seems to me is that these are men who feel like that the women here or wherever they are are not providing the services that they require. So they'll go to other places where they say women are raised to be wives or whatever situation. Okay, so for those of you who looked at my last video on what is a good wife, I'm telling you, the way in that little excerpt in that video, the way that the lady described a good wife, this is what men are looking for. It's funny because I think one of the men commented that, that was wrong, that was in the olden days or whatever, but it's not. Men today are looking for wives to serve them. And in other countries that are not as developed, women are still raised to serve men. You understand? Now, I think the problem is here is that apparently these men are downgrading women, and I guess it's mostly black women that they're talking about, downgrading the black women when they go over to meet other women. Tell you the truth, women, I would not care. I wouldn't care what they did. That just shows how immature they are. You understand? If they prefer to go overseas or wherever they want to go to get a woman from another nationality to be their servant, I think you ought to be happy because you don't want to be it. And you shouldn't. You don't have to be it. Those women have not progressed yet. You understand? They just don't know any better. They've been raised in a certain way. And these passport bros are going to take advantage of them. You understand? And we here in the States, we are not going to allow it, or wherever you are. You should not allow a man to take advantage of you. And from what I see, that's what they're doing. These women, half of them, they can't speak English, half of them, they have to rely on the man for everything. Even if they wanted $1, they got to go and creep up to him and then, can I have $1? No, Those days have passed. And that's what these passport bros, that's what they're looking for. They couldn't find it here, so they decided to go over there. Now, let me tell you the tricky part of that. You better not bring them back here. If you go overseas and find yourself a woman and she's just like you want her to be, you better not bring her here. Because if you do, she's going to wake up and she's going to be just like the women here. She is not going to allow you to keep taking advantage of her. She will learn that she does not have to be your slave. She'll learn she can come here and make her own way without you. So that's a hint for you passport brothers. If you feel like you want a wife over there, you better keep her over there. You better marry her and keep her over there. Because if you bring her here, she's going to be just like us. You understand? Especially if she listens to my channel, she's going to be just like the rest of them. Understand? She's going to realize that she don't have to submit to you. You just taking advantage of these women. You understand? Men have the wrong mentality about things. They feel like women should be submissive. You clean, you have their children, you do what they say, and you totally rely on them for your livelihood. That's where men want you. Now, I got a letter here, and before I get too deep, let me read this letter. This letter actually prompted the video today. Okay, Passport Bros. Here we go. I've been listening to the manosphere, and many of them are promoting black men to venture out to other countries to find women to be wives. Their rationale is that black women aren't traditional and they become feminists and divided the family. No, we ain't dividing no family. No, we just demand respect. Demand respect. And apparently there are still men out here who don't feel like they need to respect us. You understand? They want us to be crawling and kissing their feet all the time and taking care of them. Those times are gone. And if that's what you mean by traditional, you're right. You're right. We are not traditional anymore. Okay? There isn't anything wrong with men traveling and finding love, but black women should not be the reason. Also, it is demonized when black women state that they want a date outside of their race. Now, it's a double standard. Don't pay any attention to that. You have free will and you can date whomever you desire. Now, here you say that these passport bros are blaming black women because they do that. You know what? That's a lie. That's a lie. These men are doing it because they want to. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. They're just telling you that because they're just using it as an excuse to do what they really feel like they want to do. They don't need an excuse. If that's what you want to do, just go do it. But they're making it a big thing. You see, apparently it's a movement and they want everybody to know that they going over. I guess they just want the black women to know, because from this letter, it looks like the intention is a blowback to black women. Black women, I wouldn't care. If that's what they want to do, let them do that. You see, we are going to be standing stronger when they come crawling back. When they find out they women are women. They just don't know any better yet. That's all it is. You see, but if you bring them over here, we going to school them real quick. And now you're going to have the same thing. If you take your time to respect the women that are right in front of you and treat them as equals and not trying to make them submit to you and be underclass to you and that kind of thing, if you did that, you would be happier. And you wouldn't have to spend all your money going overseas. You got to deal with their customs, the way of doing things and all that, just to have a woman to submit to you. That makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. But to each his own is my philosophy. To each his own. Now let's see if there's anything else in this letter before we move on. Most of these black men aren't marrying these women. They have sex with women with no commitment. I would love to hear your thoughts. Well, I do know some men who have married them. And I do know some men who brought them over here, put them in a house, helped them with their education, had kids and all that. Then the woman ups one day and decides, I don't need him. She's got her education. She's making money. Throw him away. That is happening. That is happening to a lot of these men who go somewhere else to find a woman, you understand, that he thinks is going to treat him the way that he wants a woman to treat him. I'm telling you. Men should learn how to respect women. Period. All across the world. Respect women. And don't treat them like the women are only there to serve you. No. You take care of your woman and cherish your woman, and all will be happy in the land of Oz. You understand? But yeah, these passport bros, they just looking for slaves. They just looking for a woman who can't speak English, so she can't talk back to them. Will have as many babies as he wants, that he feel like he can afford, without question. You see? And will cook, clean, will not give him flack about money, will be glad when he gives her a little money. Gives her a little something, you understand? And keeps her, what they say, barefoot and pregnant. That's what these passport bros are looking for. But I tell you, if you do it, you better keep them over there. You better not bring them back. Because if you bring them back, it might not turn out the way that you expected. You understand? So that's my advice to the women. Don't worry about what these men do. You don't want them anyway. Let them go ahead, do what they do. And don't pay any attention when they're boasting, or whatever. Good for them. Good for them. Women, we going to stand on our own 2 feet, and we're not going to worry about that. We're not going to worry about that. You understand? These are not the type of men you want anyway, because they're looking for a woman to kind of be a slave to them, a servant, not a partner. And you want a man who would treat you like a partner. You understand? That you can still pursue your dreams. And you both together can be a power couple. You have yours, he has his, and you go forward. But these men are looking for servants. You understand? And that's why they're taking off, going over there, finding these women or whatever. And I say, to each his own, let them go and be happy. They're not here trying to badger you to be that. You understand? So I think the passport movement is a good thing. That just weeds out some of the bad seed we don't want. Okay? So now let's go to another letter here. This is about dating. And she says, I am 57. I am considering dating a man 14 years older. He is 71. First, I can't believe I am attracted to him. It came out of nowhere. He is handsome, respectful, and kind. I met him at a speaking event. I am a speaker. We are talking and texting at this time. He lives in a different state. We both are not into long-distance relationships. However, we feel there is something here, so we will give it a try. He says he is emotionally available for a monogamous relationship and looking for something long-term and marriage eventually. He wants to come and visit me. I'm not ready. I want us to talk for about 3 months before we meet again. I want us to get to know each other better and see if we are good fit for each other. You right about that. You slowed this train down. You got the right idea. He wants to rush. And let's see why he wants to rush. Okay? Our age difference concerns me. I like him and would like to see him if our relationship can grow into something. I want a loving, mature man. A man that knows how to treat a woman. A man that is generous and not afraid to commit. Is it too soon for him to visit me? He wants to travel to see me at the end of May. Do you think this relationship is worth pursuing? Okay. No, it's too soon for him to visit you unless he's going to stay in a hotel. If he wants to come to your city and see you and he's staying in his hotel room, you staying in your house, and then y'all can meet in the middle. But if he's coming to stay at your house, no. No, not at all. Men, men do that because they just come to have sex with you. They just come to have sex with you. You understand? And you say he's kind, and what else did you say about him? He's respectful and kind. Well, yeah, you just met him. And remember, that's his representative that you met. That's his representative. You don't know who he really is. You don't know who he really is. And it's going to be difficult for you to know him from afar. He in a different state. You understand? It's going to be difficult for you to know how he is when he gets angry. How does he handle that? How does he handle difficult situations? How is he with his people? How is he with other people? You understand? And what about his family situation? Let me see. He's 71. Was he divorced? Was he ever married? Understand? It's so many things that you need to know about this man in another state. I say he's too far away, and I say it's a waste of your time to pursue this man who's almost 20 years older than you. He gonna be 80 just like that, and you just gonna be in your 60s, which means that you can still move around. And I don't know health-wise what he is, but he could end up in a wheelchair. Now, I think this is a long shot. I really think it is. And I think that you probably should let it go. Now, if you felt a very strong pull toward this man, and you didn't say that, you just said that he was respectful and kind and kind of, you just met him or whatever. If you want to keep chatting with him in his state, wonderful. If he wants to come to visit you, even if you want to meet him now, and let me see, I think you said you did meet him. Okay, you met him at the conference, but you haven't seen him since. Okay, was he a speaker? Or was he just somebody that came to the conference or whatever? But regardless of that, the age range, I think the gap is just too much. Because you still have a lot of living to do. And he's what we'll say is kind of over the hill. So if he is serious, he's probably looking for somebody who can support him in his old age. You understand? I don't know what his resources are. I don't know if he's looking at you thinking that you have the resources or whatever. It's a lot of things that don't jive here. It's very difficult to know a person long distance. Even if he comes to visit you, you're still seeing his representative. You're not seeing who he really is. That's the point. And that's why a lot of long distance relationships don't work out. You see, because many women will hook up with a man in a long distance relationship, you see, and then find it's a disaster. It's a disaster because you never really knew what you were dealing with. And I think that's the situation here. This man is too far away, and he's too old. He's too old for you. And that's why I say it's a no-go. And it is definitely, it's not too early for you to meet. If he wanted to come to your city, and he's staying with a friend, a hotel, or whatever he's staying in, and you go and you meet, yeah. Now, if he has the resources to do that every weekend, cool, kudos. But if he doesn't, no, you can't know him. You can't know him at all. It's too far, and he's too old, and he's too far away. Okay, so my advice is not to pursue this relationship. is just not enough to build a solid foundation on. Okay, so I wish you the best on that one, and let's go to another letter. Here we go. All right. This is a question about a married man. I have known a married man through a Bible study group for about 4 years. I guess you say a Bible study group because, all right, yeah, all right, he's religious. Okay. Then I left the area, but we continued to communicate over chat for 3 years with no in-person communication. So you've been chatting with this man over the internet for 3 years, but you met him in a group, in a Bible study group about 4 years ago. Okay, that's a long time to be chatting. It is during this time I have noticed that he ignores and deflects whenever I mention his wife. I once complimented him on how nice she looked in a picture. He didn't say a word about her, but wanted me to butter him up instead. Can you tell me why this married man of over 40 years does not like me to mention his wife? I don't get it. Okay, I get it. I get it. Because he's just having an affair with you, or planning to have an affair with you. And he wants to keep it separate from his family. So he doesn't really want you to know anything about his family, really. I don't know why he showed you a picture of his wife unless you just ran up on it on the internet. You understand? But it seems to me he wants to keep your affair, which is not anything and won't be anything, away from his family. Because when he's finished with you and throwing you away, his family is still intact. You understand? He doesn't want anything to threaten his family. And that's why he will not discuss his wife with you. It's no problem with his wife. And even if he made up a problem, he's still going back home to her. You understand? He is just planning to have an affair with you. You're just chatting with him. And for 3 years, he hadn't even come to see you or anything. Why are you wasting your time like this? Why? To him, you're looking desperate. You're looking 3 years. You've been chatting with him online and you have not seen him since the 4 years ago when you saw him in a Bible study group. Let this man go. You just wasting your time. He's just a pen pal. You know? And maybe it looks like since he hasn't even come to you, he's not even interested in having an affair with you. That's what it looks like to me. You know, he's just communicating with you online. But no, he is not going to allow any little whatever he does with you to interfere with his family. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So for you, it's a dead end. Nothing will ever come of it. Nothing. Nothing. This man has a family. Apparently, he cares about his family. And you just a fling on the side, or could be a fling on the side, or whatever you want to look at it. Let it go. It is a waste of your time, a dead end, and nothing will ever come of it but heartbreak for you. You understand? So, don't pursue anything like this. Okay. Now, for those of you who would like me to answer your questions, here it is. You can send your questions to Miss Faye's World at hotmail.com. Send your questions to Miss Faye's World at hotmail.com. And I will either answer your question on air like this, or I will answer your question through the email. Now, for those of you who would like me to answer through the email, just put it up at the top of the letter that you'd like an email response. Okay? It just helps to save some time. And try to keep your letter to one page. Just summarize the situation. Just summarize the situation and ask your question. Okay, I know some of the letters could be pretty lengthy. So try to keep it to one page. I have been trying to let you know when the response to your letter will air. And these are your response will be on the air unless I sent you an email response. Okay. Now for those whose response will air, I have been trying to send you a little notification on which video to look for your answer. Now, don't go by the title of the video. If I say that your response is within the video, you watch the video. And coming up in the video somewhere, I will respond to your letter. Okay, so I just don't want you to be confused by that. Just watch the video. And for those of you who have not gotten a response from me yet, just be patient, it's coming. Just be patient, it's coming. I really appreciate you for supporting this channel. And I wish you all well. And I hope that my message to you helps in some way. So take care of yourself, love yourself, and I hope to see you next time.